I want to talk about the gym scams, like going to the gym. And I'm not saying going to the gym is a scam. I'm going to talk about why they set up like the fitness industry. So if you go to the gym, good for you. I think I should go to the gym too. I'm very sensitive to energy. Like I'm highly psychic, so even going around, like walking down the street as I got more older and developed this ability, it's kind of I can feel everyone's energy and I can people throw their energy onto me, so it makes me feel sick sometimes to be around a lot of people. It's taxing, but I do understand and respect the need and to have the knowledge to know how to fix your body and heal it, right? But essentially, in my whole life, I've only done exercises like calisthenics, running, martial arts, free weights at home, push ups, stuff like that, right? Pull ups and stuff like that. And I could have done some weightlifting earlier that would help me and just light weights because I think, when we're younger, this system, it puts like a gym in the school system. And essentially, it leaves a bunch of young boys with testosterone and fat egos who want to like prove themselves they start pushing weights on each other like 50 pounds when they're like high school kids, like curling 60s, and they're doing it terribly and they're just fucking their body up. So essentially, I believe that example, it was an era when Arnold Schwarzenegger, they started using him, right? So essentially, first of all, he's a Freemason Illuminati puppet, and he was set up to be like what he is today. He's just like a wizard, like essentially someone who knows about their body, because essentially when you know about how to build your body, you're adding energy to your body, you're adding mass. Everything's energy, so physical things like our meat on our body is energy, and we're adding more to that. And the more no like you know about your body, the more you use your body, because when you're in pain, it's essentially your body telling you have not used that part of your body. Essentially, our body is like layers and layers of like an onion of muscle, of deadened nerve and muscle. So it's like muscle atrophy. And essentially, when you know how to heal your body and fix it, you're gonna feel better. When you feel better, you can attract everything to you. So, quote unquote, manifesting. I call it divine attraction, but essentially, you're gonna feel better and you're gonna be in a higher vibe. So essentially, you're gonna be able to attract things naturally towards you. Now, I think in the Freemason sense of things, I don't think you're really manifesting. I think you're essentially just the devil's essentially giving you things, because essentially there's a point where you can't really go further without God. But essentially, they use Arnold Schwarzenegger. Essentially, they start pushing bodybuilding, and essentially Mr. Universe, whatever that. It's just that their bodies are very impressive. But I personally, I don't want to get that big anyway because I like martial arts and I want to be fast and strong, and so like a balanced. But I've been noticing that there was these videos that came out recently where essentially they're competitions from China, and they show like different types of like men with bodies, and there was one transgender chick, but of course she couldn't even lift up the ball. But they have like this boulder that weighs allegedly 200 kilograms. It's probably more like 100 pounds, but essentially they have to lift this thing up over their head and hold it. And essentially there was like five or six contestants, and essentially all of them failed, but there was these two jack guys, and one of them was jacked bodybuilder, so he was like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like jack, and the other one was a little bit smaller but big too, muscular, but he was more like farmer, like he was just like a natural farmer, working hard, right? Hardworking laborer. And essentially he outclassed the other guy. He held it for like twice as long. And essentially what I'm saying is that they developed these gyms so that essentially they could boost the ego and pride of society. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be proud of ourselves, but being proud and having pride is completely different. Having pride is making you lifting yourself up. And you know what they say, when you have pride, then what happens? The fall comes after, right? Something like that. Pride comes after the fall, or pride comes before the fall. Some shit like that. Essentially, you're supposed to keep yourself humble, because when you're lower, then you can see everything and learn from everyone, and then you're never gonna be tripping up, right? And essentially, so essentially they pushed that onto the public, and essentially people got obsessed with building their bodies and being obsessed with the external beauty, because we're supposed to work on our internal beauty too, right? It's not just about externals. And essentially, focusing on this is also hypersexualizing people. So essentially, people are, hooking up more, and it's causing like a hookup culture more. So it's like not a deep connection, and it's just hurting people. And essentially, it's a way for people to attach energetic cords to one another. Sometimes females or men, they just sleep with someone, but they leave, and then they just attach. They do that just to attach a cord, so that person is always thinking of them. This is way steep. People steal your manifesting ability, because as I say, your manifesting is connected to your focus, attention, emotions, thoughts, and actions. And I think the emotions are the most powerful. Emotions are thoughts. So essentially, if you just meditate in a room and just fucking close your eyes for a month, you're gonna manifest your whole destiny to you. But I think you need God's align. Like, you need to align to God morally and physically, and learning about God, right, and how He works, and how blessings and curses work. But straight up back to this. So essentially, okay, they made this industry, and they're like, okay, we're gonna develop these machines that are just like mechanical, that are just not natural movements, and essentially they isolate. So they're good for isolation. So if you have an injury, you can isolate that and rehab it, right? But essentially, that's not how our body works. Our body is meant to work together. There's these, like, in one, multiple muscle groups working in unison as a group, as a team. And straight up, it's just like, there's this like ancient Indian tool. I think you've all seen it. It's like a fat thing, and like, and essentially they go around, they start like doing that. That's essentially using so many muscle groups at one time. It's more like of a natural movement. And I'm saying that it's like Rocky 4. In the Rocky 4, you saw the training. Rocky was going up the mountains and doing everything natural, where that Russian guy, he was in like a laboratory, and essentially it was showing like natural always beats synthetic ways of building. And building those muscle groups, you're building them in isolation. So separating. So the muscles start getting separated. So muscle groups are getting separations. So they're not connected anymore, working together in unison. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's bad to go to the gym. I'm just saying be aware that you have to try to incorporate other alternative exercises that are not linked to mechanical pieces of machinery in unnatural settings like a gym setting. Also, all I ever see when I go near there is just people just looking at themselves in the mirror and just looking at their asses and looking at their body instead of fucking getting the fucking sweat. And so get in and, rep it out and get the fuck out. Anyway, what else do I want to say about that? Yeah, I think it's very interesting. And I think Arnold, like, on Instagram, I mean, I appreciate all his movies in the back of the day, because I do like his movies. They're masculine, like testosterone boost, like, you know, they're cool, right? But I think he's so powerful, like physically, right? But he's so weak mentally, because essentially, Arnold Schwarzenegger is just an Illuminati Freemason puppet, just like planted to just, say what they told him to say and not think freely, and not as a strong male that he is, use his influence to lift humanity instead of fucking oppressing them and this Illuminati cult. They suppress this whole world, and they profess they want to destroy. Essentially, they don't want to destroy humanity to save it, but it's not true. They just want to bind it, because it's a bunch of demonic demons that are feeding off of our energy. But essentially, King Arnold, yeah, only king is Jesus Christ. You arrogant fuck. Peace.